Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we are tackling the best knives for 2022 in the $60 to $100 category. And I gotta say, guys, I am amped for this one. This is by far and away, in my opinion, the best category of this series in terms of just overall volume of good knives. There's been so many this year. It was extremely hard to come up with the top three, and it was even harder to just limit my honorable mentions. I could have had 15 knives up here for this episode alone, but I wanted there to be, I wanted there to be a little more something into the knives in this video. I could have easily showed you guys damn near every knife in the $60 to $100 category from Kizer and Civivi this year because they absolutely killed it. But I didn't do that. I limited it, of course. We have our top three, and then we also have 5 honorable mentions. And man, oh man, are they some good ones, some really good ones, and a couple you may not be expecting to see on this list. So let's get right into them, and let's start off with our first honorable mention. If you guys like this series, if you like my content, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along. I will continue to bring you the content. I have some very good lists and reviews coming your way, but let's get back to this, and let's start with the first honorable mention. And this here is the Kizer Tauser S. Now, one thing about this knife here, it may very well have been a little farther up in the top 3 if there wasn't for a couple things this year. The button lock really took the industry by storm, and there was just so many other fantastic offerings that it kind of pushed this out of a positional place and into the honorable mentions. But the reason it makes an honorable mention is, one, it's only 64 stinking bucks, and if you use my discount code, you get 10% off it, and that knocks it down under $60. So phenomenal value here. And what really makes this, I think, a very strong contender for a lot of people to consider purchasing is a very popular knife this year, which was the Vox F5.5, I believe. It wasn't new this year. It came out last year. It became wildly popular. Like, there's been a lot of runs and people love it. This is a lot like that, only to me, it's very similar in size. For me, it's more hand-filling, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but I like the ergos on this better than the F5.5 itself. And that's saying a lot because that's a Vox design, and that was a phenomenal knife. But to get this knife in this package for under 60 bucks after a discount code is just insane. It has a nice slicey blade. Like I said, phenomenal ergos, excellent drop shutty action on those multi-row bearings. Just a phenomenal smaller EDC knife that can really put in some damn good work for you. I think this is going to be a hit for Kizer. I think a lot of people are going to love it. And this is one that could, like I said, it could have easily been in the top 3, but it's not. It's an honorable mention, and that is the Kizer Tauser S. Next up, an honorable mention here is this guy, which for a long time it was number 1, and it's got pushed into the honorable mentions. This here is the Kizer Mini Roach, coming in at 67 bucks. And if you want a ridiculously thin hollow grind, this is the blade you want. This guy has the most epic, deep hollow grind on any budget knife I've ever handled, ever. By far the best hollow grind on a budget knife I've ever come across. It gets thin quick, stays thin, super slicey, excellent flipping action. If you want, you can remove this flipper tab, which I kind of want to, but the flipping action is so good. I kind of don't, but you can also middle finger flick it very, very easily. And you can also thumb flick it. So very, very nice and fidgety. Really nice ergos. The way the handle looks, I think some people kind of get turned off by the looks of this knife. I actually think it looks really good. It's just very unique. It doesn't look like a lot of other knives, which I actually like. I like the milling pattern on the G10. Got a nice clip. Very deep carry, fully recessed, screws and all. Very nice there. Back spacer to match the scales. It's just an excellent knife. Excellent design from Matt Degnan, and a really, really nice smaller package that Kizer took this in from the original full-size Roach. Love that choil. Love a lot of things about this knife. That's why it's getting an honorable mention, the Kizer Mini Roach. And, okay, we don't have any more Kizers for honorable mentions. There was only 2 Kizer honorable mentions. You guys should be proud of me. But wait, there's more Kizers coming. But this right here is not a Kizer. This for another honorable mention is the Vastied Raccoon. Now, Vastied kind of burst onto the scene this year. It's Vastied. That sounded like I had an N at the end of it. It's Vastied. Of course, these will all be linked below so you can know the exact names and spelling. But this is the Raccoon, and this guy here is coming in at 59 bucks with 14C 28N steel. Very nice button lock action. Excellent ergos. Very, very nice ergos with that choil. You have a couple different grip positions that both feel really good. An excellent EDC style blade, or the shape of a blade. Like the shape of this blade is made very well for EDC use. Has a nice amount of belly, a good tip, and just a nice tall flat grind. And it's an excellent little work knife. Works really, really well. And if you don't use it to do a lot of cutting, you can do a lot of fidgeting with it. And it's very enjoyable in that category as well. Just about anything with a button lock is very, very fidgety. This one has a little more of a slower, like hydraulic-y feel as it comes down. It's not quite drop shut, but it's not stiff. It's just very like hydraulic-y, I guess is the best way to put it. But really, really enjoyable knife. Really big fan of this. The only thing I don't actually love is the clip. I mean, I like the low profile of it, but it's just kind of in a middle of the handle place. It's a little weird to me, but everything else about the knife is fantastic. Needless to say, I would highly recommend any of these knives you see on these Knives of the Year list. The only question is which one do you want more than the other one? But this is one that's definitely worth considering, the Vastied Raccoon. Two more honorable mentions, and this one here is a Civivi, and it is the Altus. And this is another one. Could very, very easily be in the top 3. Love this design. Love this blade. And Civivi did a fantastic job with button locks this year. They're right up there with Kizer. To be totally honest, I don't know if I could say one is clearly better than the other. I think Kizer just has more offerings, so there's a little more to select from. But in terms of this button lock action, this blade flies out. I mean, it absolutely rockets out with that middle finger flick. And of course, you can also do a good thumb flick on it. And it's just a great, great design. I love the lines on this knife. For a knife this size, it just comes together perfectly. And I love these burgundy handles they brought out too. I really, really like that. Even don't hate the clip on this. It is what it is. But it's really an amazing offering from Civivi, coming in at 69 bucks, and definitely feels like more than a $69 knife. So excellent, excellent offering from Civivi. That is the Altus. Now, last honorable mention is one that I really, really wanted to put. I wanted to put this knife in the top 3. I just couldn't. I just couldn't bring myself to do it because there's some phenomenal knives in the top 3. But this here is the Kubi Momentum, and it is easily one of the most underrated knives of the year. It's a phenomenal design from Civivi Conspirator. The action is ridiculously smooth, super, super fidgety. The thumb studs are in a perfect place. So nice to kick that blade out. However you want to deploy this blade, you can easily do it. It is a phenomenal offering. By far and away, the best Kubi ever made. I can easily say that. I love this knife. For what it is fantastic. Love the blade shape. The handle may look a little odd to some people, but I tell you what, once you get it in your hand, you won't have a whole lot of problems with the looks because it is a performer and a great little beater knife and looks fantastic, super fidgety, just a damn good one. The Kubi Momentum from Civivi Conspirator and Kubi. And that's coming in at 70 bucks. Now we have reached our top 3, and what way to start it off then with one of the best button locks of the year. And number 3, we have the Civivi Conspirator. And I tell you, the button locks really did. They took over this top 3. It was like the perfect wave of excitement and execution from the manufacturers and the retailers and the exclusives. And there's just so many things that contributed to this button lock craze this year. And it starts off with, just like I said, phenomenal execution from Civivi and Kizer. They came out with some absolute bangers this year, and this Conspirator Feels phenomenal in hand. It's got that good larger size of a knife with a good, this is probably about a 3.5 inch blade. Very nice high flat grind, 14C, 28N steel. Oh, no, Nitro V on this guy, my bad. Nitro V, $79 for this knife. And I'm sure there's places you can get it somewhere and use it to get a discount code, get 10% off that, and bring it right down to 70 bucks. But it's just great. It is absolutely phenomenal. The fuller makes it so easy to kick that blade out. It doesn't look like it would be easy, but they put just the right amount of like tackiness or bite on the end of this fuller. They didn't really chamfer it, so it has a nice strong edge. So when you go to middle finger flick it, it catches your nail or it catches your thumb or your middle finger, any part of your finger that touches this. Just, it's so easy to deploy it. And of course, the flipper is a breeze because Civivi is phenomenal with their jimping. Excellent jimping on this. Just a phenomenal knife. This is another one. A lot of people will probably have this at number one. You know, these top three could easily be in any order, and it would be really hard for me to really put up too much of an argument. But this is just my top three, and at number 3 is the Civivi Conspirator. Now, number two is an exclusive from White Mountain Knives, and this here is the Kizer Tauser K button lock. Only you can get it, the only place you can get it is White Mountain Knives. And last I checked, these were in stock. These are coming in at $109, but you can use my discount code, WSW10, take 10% off, and that brings it just under $100. What we have here is basically a modified Tauser K, where they got rid of the thumb studs, put in a blade cutout, put a button lock on that bad boy, added a couple extra spots for some really good grip and ergos, and threw some chocolate glacier rich light scales with a very nice milling pattern on it, and 3V steel. They put that all together in this package, and it is phenomenal. Arguably my favorite exclusive of the year, especially for this price. Like, everyone wanted button locks, everyone loves the Tauser K, and White Mountain Knives did this. It's just amazing. Yeah, it's a whole lot of knife for 99 bucks. It is absolutely great. The action on this, oh, that middle finger flick. I will say this one, I feel like it has a stronger detent, but I like that when it comes to middle finger flicking. I like having that extra resistance to break through because the blade really flies out and I can just as easily close it by pressing that button. This knife, it almost feels like it closes itself the way, I think it has to do with the way the handle's kind of like arced, and as big as the blade is, it's a bigger, heavier blade, so you just press that button and it closes itself. It's just amazing. I love this knife, and I'm really shocked there's still some available, but I do remember Justin at White Mountain Knives saying he had a lot of them made. So, you know, it's nice they're still there, but I can guarantee you they won't be there a whole lot longer because I'm still shocked that there's really some in stock. I really am. And by the time I upload this video, maybe it's not. I'm uploading this, or I'm recording it 3 days before I'm uploading it. So that's basically going over a weekend. That could be some more purchases. So who knows? But if you want an amazing button lock, if you like the Tauser K, this is the one for you. Get on it because it is fantastic. The Tauser K button lock, White Mountain Knives exclusive. And here we are, looking at number 1. Coming in at the top spot for the Wayne Sharp World Knife of the Year Awards is the Kizer Original. And this guy, this just really kind of took it for me the moment this guy came out. Obviously, it was earlier in the year. Everyone was big on button locks, and Kizer just outdid themselves with this. And now I also want to throw something else in with this because I just got this guy in for review. This is the original XL, which is actually bigger. So I haven't had much time with it. So I'm going to just put these two at number 1 together because I've handled this enough to know that it's like it's basically the exact same knife, just slightly bigger. And it's really just like, it's not even a full inch bigger than the regular original, than the original. But they're still both phenomenal options. Like I said, they're both pretty much the same knife, right around the same price. The regular original is coming in at, what do we got here? $79. And I believe that's pretty much what this is. This might be in the low 80s. But either one of these knives are just fantastic. They're super fidgety. I love the design on this. I just think it's a really clean design that feels great in your hand. If you want a little more real estate on the handle, the XL is a lot better because you do have 2 grip positions on this. As to where on the regular original, I feel like this doesn't really work for me, so I kind of keep it to this grip here. But you really can't go wrong with either one. In a year of button locks that really took everyone by storm, the original just spoke to me a little more than the rest. It's hard for me to even explain why, but there's a blue million different versions. There's the Serape series. There's you can get a premium version with a couple different types of fat carbon. Kizer knows what they have with this design, and they have a phenomenal smaller size EDC that a lot of people are loving. So they're doing the best they can to give all types of variety for it. There's also non-coated versions. That just happens, all the versions I have happen to be coated. So, yeah. But other than that, it's just an excellent knife. It's one that I love from the get-go, and it just kept getting better and better for me. And it was so hard to put this at the top spot, even though it is an amazing knife, because all of these knives were so darn amazing this year in this price category. If we have another year like that next year in this price category, I don't know what I'm going to do to myself, because it was just too damn good. Civivi and Kizer definitely stole the show. I do think Kizer made more noise than Civivi, but I think they both did a great job in producing some fantastic button locks and just some more great designs with excellent quality. So hats off to you, Kizer and Civivi. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.